It's interesting to hear y'all talk about selling y'all soul when we literally live in a day and age where the powers that be, the oligarchs, could fabricate a unaliving sickness. And if they fed it to enough media outlets and made it play on a loop, y'all would literally manifest the symptoms as a form of psychosis. A lot of y'all built like that. Like if the oligarchs fed these media outlets and got the influencers and the celebrities and all of them to jump on board because they've done it before. If they fed y'all the narrative that it was an unaliving entity jumping in people's bloodstreams, y'all would buy it and y'all would believe it so hard that your energy, your frequency would manifest the symptoms as a form of psychosis. You've done it before. You've done it before. That's the reality that we live in. Y'all are so invested. If they get the pastors on board, if they get the church on board, and you have to remember that the church is a 501c3, so they get tax write-off and tax cuts, and they get benefits and grants. That's why the politicians always stop there first. And you know, so many of us, we have limited education. 6th grade reading level, I learned that. Most Americans got a 6th grade reading level. And so y'all get out here and y'all support politicians and activists and artists and storytellers and rich people who don't even care enough about us to encourage learning and reading. They literally are taking out educational books and stories that help people to look at things as complex and diverse and not just surface. Like they're literally stripping our society of being multidimensional and making it just a flat surface. No complexity, no nuance. Let's remove stories about melanin-rich people and their contributions to society. Let's remove those books. Let's remove books about LGBTQIA people because this adds nuance. This causes you to... Because see, what we have to understand is that this is why you have different parties in politics. This is why when you go into a courtroom, there's a plaintiff and there's a defendant, because things have multiple sides. This is why you have to hear sometimes from the plaintiff, the defendant, the judge, and the jury, because you're hearing multiple sides. You know what I'm saying? Complexity. And see, you go through these institutions in order to have a voice in their system so that they can spoon feed you what's appropriate to maintain things as they are. And so when y'all start talking about selling y'all soul, I want you to know that some of you've never made contact with your own soul. You blindly follow the voice of parakeets who are parakeeting things that they've been paid to say. So at least some of these celebrities are arriving at a place where they could be confronted by the idea that they have a soul to sell, because some of y'all just blindly follow a religion that is meant to compartmentalize and dissect and diminish you, if you cannot perform a type of humanity that is socially acceptable in a white supremacist, patriarchal, capitalistic, monotheistic society. If you cannot perform a type of humanity based on your genitalia, And then some of y'all is based on your skin color because you think you have to perform a certain way because of your skin. You have to behave a certain way because of your skin and your sex. And y'all talking about selling your soul. A lot of you that's talking about people who sold their soul, you've never had a moment where you really realize that you had a soul, and that soul allows you to make choices, to think for yourself, to be autonomous, to be sovereign, to build out your own ideas, your own perspective, your own opinion, and not just jump on trends and bandwagons. Amen, a woman. But I'm going to get off that nerve. That's why the school of purple thought is so important in these times, because a lot of y'all be talking about selling your soul and you've never made contact with your own.